Good morning. In today's lesson, lesson 3.4, page 115 of your Go Math textbook, title of our lesson is Problem Solving, Model Multiplication, and our essential question is, how can you use the strategy, how can you use the strategy, draw a diagram to solve one and two-step problems? So unlock the problem. 3 groups of students are taking drum lessons. There are 8 students in each group. How many students are taking drum lessons? So how do we go about solving this word problem? So first, what do we need to find? I need to find how many students are taking drum lessons. What information do I need from this problem? Well, I know that there are 3 groups of students taking drum lessons, and that in each group there are 8 students. How will I use the information? I'll use draw a bar model to help me see how many students are taking drum lessons. So here is the bar model, and it says complete the bar model to show the drummers. We're going to write 8 in each box to show the 8 students in each of the 3 groups. There was 8 students in one group, 8 in another group, 8 in another group. If we combine all of those 3 groups, that'll give us the total number of students. Okay, since there are equal groups, you can multiply. You can take the 3 groups, multiply by 8, and 3 times 8 is 24. So there are 24 students in all. The Math Talk question says, how would the bar model change if there were 6 groups of 4 students? So in our previous problem, we see that there are 3 boxes in our bar model. So if there were 6 groups, I would have 6 boxes. And in each box, there are 4 students. So then how many students would that be? So again, we could use multiplication. It would be 6 groups of 4, and 6 times 4 is 24. Okay. So the number of groups is the number of boxes in the bar model, and the number inside each box is how many are in each group. Okay, so let's go to page 116. Okay, so let's try another problem. There are 12 students in Mrs. Taylor's class want to start a band. 7 students each made a drum. There were 12 students overall. The rest of the students made 2 shakers each. How many shakers were made? What do I need to find? Well, first, I need to find how many students made shakers. Then find out how many total shakers were made. What information do I need to use? 12 students in the class. 7 students made a drum. The rest made shakers. Okay, so how do I use the information? We can use a bar model, since that is what we're practicing in this lesson. Okay, so we're going to first use the bar model to find out how many students made shakers. Then use that number to find the total of shakers made. Okay, so our first bar model represents addition. 7 plus something gives me a total of 12. Well, we should know that that's 5. Okay, so if 7 students made drums and 5 students made shakers, I now have a bar model that would have 5. Okay, and I know from the information that each of the remaining students that did not make drums made 2 shakers each. So there's 5 students, 5, and each of those 5 made 2 shakers. So our math problem would be 5 groups of 2 equals 10. So how many shakers in all did the students make? 10 shakers. How do you know your answer is reasonable? Because 5 groups of 2 equal 10. You could also skip count by 2s to get to 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, so let's look at page 117. There are 6 groups of students who play the trumpet in the marching band. How many students play the trumpet in the band? Okay, so step 1, draw a bar model, show each group of students. So first, I know there's 6 groups of students, and in each group there are 4 students playing trumpets. So we're going to draw how many boxes to represent the groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to draw 6 boxes, and in each box we're going to write 4. Since each group has the same amount, we can multiply. We have 6 groups of 4, and 6 groups of 4 is 24. What if there were 4 groups of students who play the saxophone? So it's the same idea. We have 4 groups, and in each group there are 7. So this time we're going to draw 4 boxes to represent the 4 groups. And in each group we will put 7. Okay, and since there's equal amount in each group, I can multiply. I have 4 groups of 7, and 4 groups of 7, 7, 14, 21, 28. Okay, so 28 students play saxophone. But my question says, how many students play the saxophone or trumpet? So we're going to go 28 plus our 24 trumpet players. 8 and 4 is 12 ones. We will regroup the 12 ones as 1 10 and 2 ones. We're going to add the 10s and add the one regrouped 10. 2, 4, 5. So 52 play saxophone or trumpet. There are 3 rows of flute players in the marching band. There are 7 students in each row. How many flute players are in the marching band? Okay, so 3 rows is the same as saying our 3 groups, and in each row there are 7. So I can draw a bar model, and I'm going to draw 3 boxes to represent the 3 rows, and in each row we're going to put 7 students. Okay, since there's an equal amount in each group, I can convert that bar model into a multiplication problem of 3 times 7. 3 times 7, 7, 14, 21. There are 21 flute players. Okay, so suppose there are 5 groups of 4 trumpet players, and in front of the trumpet players are 18 saxophone players. How many students play the trumpet or saxophone? So trumpet or saxophone. So this means add. So I have 5 groups of 4 trumpet players, and then we have 18 saxophone players. So first I need to find out how many trumpet players I have. So we have 5 groups. So there's my 5 groups, and in every group there are 4 trumpet players. Since there's an equal amount of players in each group, we can convert that to multiplication problem of 5 times 4. And 5 groups of 4 is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. All right, so we know that there are 20 trumpet players plus the 18 saxophone players. So we need to add those together to find the total of how many students play trumpet or saxophone. 8 and nothing is 8. No need to regroup. 2 10s plus 1 10 is 3 10s. So 38 students play the trumpet or saxophone. Okay, move on to the last page for today's lesson. All right, in our directions say, use the picture graph for numbers 5 through 7. All right, so in my picture graph, I see that we're looking at favorite instrument survey, and each symbol in our picture graph represents 2 votes. So 4 people chose flute as their favorite instrument. 2, 4, 6 chose trumpets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 chose guitar. And 2, 4, 6, 8 chose drums. So, the picture graph shows how students in Jillian's class voted for their favorite instrument. How many students voted for the guitar? So, we went here, and so this is in a sense kind of like a bar graph, too, because we have 5 symbols, and then each symbol represents 2 votes. And 5 groups of 2 equals 10. On the day of the survey, 2 students were absent. The picture graph shows the votes of all the other students in the class, including Jillian. How many students are in the class? Explain your answer. So, 2 students were absent. How many total students are in our graph? Well, let's add up our totals. 6 and 4 is 10. 10 and 10 is 20. Plus 8 is 28. So 28 plus 2, 30. So there's 30 students in the class. And we'll just explain. There were how many students that voted? There were 28 students. These votes were recorded. Plus the 2 absent students. (28 plus 2 equals 30). Jillian added the number of votes for 2 instruments and got a total of 12 votes. For which 2 instruments did she add the votes? Well, let's look at our choices here. 4 plus 6 is 10, so she didn't add those 2 together. 6 and, let's just go with the flute, sorry. So, flute plus trumpet, that's 10. That doesn't work. Flute plus guitar, 4 and 10 is 14. That's not 12. And 4 and 8 is 12. So, she probably added flute and drum. 4 plus 8 equals 12. We should just confirm the rest of them too. Trumpet, we know wasn't added to the flute. Trumpet plus guitar is 16. Trumpet plus drum, that's 14. So that it wasn't the trumpet. Guitar. Guitar plus flute, we already eliminated that. Guitar and trumpet, we already eliminated. So guitar plus drum, that didn't work. So, yes, we were right, flute and drum. Okay, the flute was invented 26 years after the harmonica. The electric guitar was invented 84 years after the flute. How many years was the electric guitar invented after the harmonica? Okay, so let's break this down. The flute, 26 years after the harmonica. The electric guitar, 84 years after the flute. How many years was the electric guitar invented after the harmonica? So, in a sense, we have, let's think of a timeline here. We have harmonica was invented first, then came the flute, then the electric guitar. So we don't really need to know when the harmonica was invented. We need to know how many years after the harmonica was the electric guitar. So we have 26 years. The flute was invented after the harmonica. And then there was another 84 years that went by before the electric guitar was invented. So we just need to add those 2 time periods. So we have 84 years plus 26 years. 6 and 4 is 10. We will regroup the 10 ones as 1 10 and no ones. We'll add the 10s plus the 1 regrouped 10. 8 plus 2 10s is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. 11 10s. I'll regroup that as 100 and 110. So it was 110 years. Okay, and number 9. Raul packs 4 packs of drinks, of apple juice, and 3 packages of grape juice. There are 6 drink boxes in each package. How many drink boxes does Raul buy? All right, so 4 packages, 3 packages, and regardless of the juice, there are 6 boxes in each package. So we have 4 packages and 3 packages. So how many packages did Raul buy? He bought 7 packages. And in every package, there are 6 drink boxes. Okay, so 7 packages. Every package has 6. Okay, so let's see what we've done so far. This bar model represents the number of packages that he bought. He bought 4 packages of apple juice, and he bought 3 packages of grape juice. So that's a total of 7 packages. Okay, and then every package has 6 drink boxes. So we would have to draw 7 boxes in our bar model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in every bar, in every box, there are 6 drink boxes. So we can convert that to a multiplication problem of 7 times 6. And I know that 7 times 6 is 42. You can skip count this. 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. So Raul bought 42 drink boxes. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. So basically, we practiced using bar models to represent multiplication. So keep in mind that the number of groups represents how many boxes you'll draw, and the number that you put in each box is the amount that is in each group. Okay, so you will now do your online 3.4 lesson. If you need to review the video, please do so. Also use your textbook to help. And you can always ask me for additional help if needed. Okay, so tomorrow we will talk about how to model multiplication with arrays. So until then, good luck on today's assignment.